Mic check. Water Masters Podcast. Your host, main, of course. I got a special guest across from me, man. Aubrey Mcrae. What's going on? Glen Hills legend.
What's going on, man?
Chilling. Another Glen Hills legend in the building. Shout out to the Hill, of course. I always start off with icebreakers. Now, you a little different than a lot of the guests because I watched you grow up. You was a lot younger when I first ran across you and met you. So one of the first questions I asked you was like, your time in this gym. We in ARC right now, so back in when you played, this would be the Thanksgiving tournament and things like that. You remember your first time ever playing in this gym or your best game in this gym? Either one.
I wouldn't say my best game. I would say my favorite game. I would say it was my 12th grade year, and we played Richmond Hill, and it was just interesting for me because one of my best friends, Tiger Daggett, was playing on the team.
Oh yeah, shout out to Tiger.
Yeah, shout out to Tiger, big shout out to Tiger. And we play AAU together, and that just always been a friendly challenge whenever we played Richmond. So, and I had a great game. And the people that went to Richmond at the time went to Langford with me. So it was just almost like a homecoming without being a homecoming. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. Shout out to you. One thing I say about you, at least from what I remember and what I've seen, super competitive. Like super. You don't like losing either, but you are super competitive though.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Like I don't like we can be friends and all that stuff outside the game, but when the ball is up, hey, look, it's all about who win at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Like that's just what I really care about. Like, but we all gonna be. It's all cool. It's all love at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Regardless who I come against, it's just in the nature.
So I always start mine. I kind of go back. So I want to kind of take it to when you first came into Earth. So you were born and raised in Augusta. You born here?
Yeah, born and raised.
All right. So you coming up right, youngin. At what point did you start actually playing basketball? I asked you this question because your dad is a coach and a legend from Glen Hills as well, in his own right. So
yeah,
when did you start actually playing basketball?
So I always been around the game since I was little. When he was at Glen Hills Middle, and whenever he had practices, I was always there with him. Like before the players came, when the players left, whenever he was just had some time to himself, I was always in the gym just shooting. And my parents just decided to get me into a Y league, and I was like 5 years old. And after that, I just never stopped.
Yeah.
So.
With your dad being a coach, was it ever hard playing the game where because you got some people that get their dad and then they get a coach?
Yeah.
You had both.
I mean, you just got to find a way to balance it out because at the end of the day, you go home with this person, and so it's kind of hard to differentiate if it's a dad or coach. But then when you actually get in the game, you really got to really psych yourself out and be like, hey, at the end of the day, this is a basketball game.
Yeah.
He the coach, I'm a player. We gotta handle business and get the business done. We could talk about all the other stuff at the dinner table.
Facts. So you started playing at a very, very young age, but that's when they had the YBOA, all the young leagues. So even in that young league, I remember you being like a special talent. You was obviously way more advanced than a lot of kids at that time. Speak on, if you can, some of the players around that time then as well, who were also good, just like you.
You talking about like in my age group or people that was older than me?
Your age group.
Okay, so around that time, Desmond Dunn was ringing bells when I was young. Like he was probably like the best player in the city at the time as far as like our age group. And then you had Zach Cook. He never played. He never played in our age group. He always played up. And another guy, Jace Waugh. Jace Waugh, he went to Butler. He was real good at the time. And me, I was always like playing in the Y League. I never played for the recreation department. Cause it's like a difference when you playing in the Y and then you playing for the actual city. Like you actually finna see different type of players.
Okay.
So like I was always playing in the backyard just with my friends and stuff. And then that's when I actually started going to the Y and seeing these type of players. And then everything just kind of clicked like, okay, like I think I belong here. And then Desmond Dunn, his dad saw me. We played each other in the championship. He just said, hey, we want to play on this AAU team.
Hold up. Who won?
We won.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, we won. We won that. Because,
shout out to Des.
And like I said at the time, like, Desmond was the guy.
Yeah.
So we played him in the championship. And then his dad came up to my dad and was just saying, hey, we finna start this AU team. He helping out Chad Cook, Augusta Metros. It was probably like around 2007. And everything just went from there, man. Like, that's like all I can remember. Like, that was a very, like, vital moment for me.
Let me ask you a question. Like, and this is more, for me, it's more personal. Because like I said, I met you when you played for the Metros. We moved down around that same time, 06, 07, something like that. And, you know, Don played with y'all somehow, some way. He got to play with y'all. Don was not a basketball player at the time. He just was a kid just wanting to play. So what were your thoughts about him while playing with him for the Metros? Not what he grew to be, but like at that moment.
So at the time, like, we all just 9 and 10 years old. We just, at first, was clueless, like, just trying to figure out, like, how we gonna do this thing. Because at the time, Chad Cook he'd invested in so much into the different age groups, into the program. And when he just put us together, we all only know each other with the can of paint.
Yeah.
So we all just formed a friendship. And then the basketball just came later. Like, so I would say how he was going up, like, he was just a fun person to be around. He could always shoot. At first, I didn't know if he was right-handed or left-handed, because sometimes he would shoot right-handed, sometimes he would shoot left-handed. But, hey, he was still a good person to play with. And then, like I said, like Tiger, Desmond, when we all was on that team, it was more so just like us having fun together.
Yeah.
So that just made it easy to play with each other.
Like I said, I watched you younger, so you seemed like you were very advanced, even for your age. You could shoot, you could drive, you shoot free throw, you play defense. Like, it pretty much, even as you got older, but I'm saying young you, like, it was like nothing you really couldn't do. I remember, like I said, I always talk about Don, because Don don't really talk about people in a fan way,
right,
for so to speak. But you, like, it's a few people that he did do it. Of course, it was Rod. I always say that he loved Rod, but then you.
Right.
And when I was younger now, you know, and he was like, nah, Aubrey, he did this, Aubrey did that. We won the game, Aubrey shot this shot. So, like, you was like, I know you mentioned Dez, and Dez was what he was. Like, definitely, don't get me wrong, Dez was the guy. But it was just something about you as well that was just special at that time.
It was just, when I was younger, when my dad used to have basketball games, and I always used to have time to myself, like, I was always just use my creative mind just to make, like, different type of moves that can just help my game out. And then so at the time when I was 10 years old, when we all first got together, like, that's when I started using the spin move.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that by myself. Like, even when my dad be in his office and we just trying to kill time, I'm just playing around, using my imagination, just using the spin move. 'Cause I remember at the time when we was 10, I was probably kind of like a little taller than the average 10-year-old.
Yeah, definitely.
So I had the guard skills, but they had me playing the 5. So everything just kind of worked out in my favor on how, like, it seemed like I was more advanced.
Yeah.
Cause like it was really just practicing over and over and over again since I was little.
Speaking of size, like, you think about that, like, this is on a tangent here, I'm just saying that. Think about it, you talking about Dave, you talking about Tiger, those are guys who were small and pretty much stayed small. You know what I'm saying? They didn't really grow. Tiger did grow a little bit, but Dez pretty much stayed small.
Right.
But then I think about you and Don, and y'all damn near, y'all grew. You know what I'm saying? Like, 4 summers later, y'all playing the 3.
Yeah, it's crazy, like, how it ended up being like that, because, like you said, I was a 10, like, when I was 10 years old, I was playing the 5. And then I gradually moved to the 3. But then when I got to high school, my senior year, I was playing the 1.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how it just ended up working out that way.
Well, I want to kind of fast forward a little bit to, I know you played the AAU circuit and stuff like that, but talk about going to Langford. First of all, what made you go to Langford? I want to know, because I don't know if you were zone. You one of them out of zone kids? I don't know if you're a zone kid, out of zone kid. I don't know.
Okay. So
my
parents at the time, they was on at for Richmond and Langford. So, like, that was my zone school. And then those my childhood friends and all this stuff. I wanted to go to school with them. So that wasn't a no-brainer, but I knew once I got to high school, it was gonna be Glen Hills. Playing at Richmond was never like on my mind.
Okay.
Like, at all. No disrespect to Richmond, but I just knew, like, I was gonna be playing at Baby Blue and Gray.
So, talk about your time at Langford, though, because you won 2 championships or 1?
I didn't win none. But my 7th and 8th grade year, we was in the championship both years.
Okay, who y'all lost to?
7th grade year, we lost to Seago. That's when they had Ron. Then I think Don was in the 6th grade. Yeah, that was his first grade. Cause I started school early. Then the 8th grade year, that's when we played Glen Hills Middle. We lost to them. That's when they had Meek, Santo, and Toot. You know, like, so we was always in a conversation, but we never got the job done.
Yeah. So all right, so you talk about your time at. So I got a funny story for middle school from you. Like so what I used to do with Don, like I said, he had just stopped playing. So in order to get better, we was like, I'm gonna film the games. I send a camera to my mom. If I come at the game, we'll film it. So one day they came to Langford. I think it's the 7th grade year, so you have an 8th grade. He was a senior. And so I get home from work. We popped that tape in, and I just remember like not talking to the rest of the night because you went insane. Like you hit so, and it was like fast break. It's fast break. You're not even doing layup. You just stopping like at the like not in the like within the 3.
It was in middle school, right?
Middle school.
I think I know what game. I think it was against Spirit Creek.
You went insane.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what y'all doing? So I'm just saying to say like I be watching your game, even in middle school. Like it was something there. You was already special in middle school.
Yeah, it was just like my dad and my granddad. They all coaches, so they expect a certain way out of me. I was brought up a certain way, like. You practice what you preach, and like everything's just discipline. Take everything serious. So like,
cause I do think you a serious player. I see some joke off, but you always seem serious. Even when you playing AU, you seem like you were serious. Like I said, I watch you a long time. I've seen you lose, and you get mad. You don't like losing. If you feel like the ref has something to do with it, you piss at the ref. Like you don't play it. I got a funny stuff to say later on about that, but I do want to say, so within your middle school career. Who was some guys that was nice? And I always ask this question because of the clash, and I'm trying to make sure, like, once again, we saying names that maybe they didn't play in middle school, they didn't play in high school, or some people just don't get better, so they stop.
Right. I'm gonna go by them my 7th or 8th grade year, cause I didn't play 6th grade. So my 7th grade year, I would say like, it may be a little biased, but I would say like Tay, Jeremy Smith, and Rashad Lee. That was my big bros. Like that was the ones I was looking up to. Cause I went to school with them. So and we ended up going to the championship. So as me seeing that, it just motivated me to get back to the championship the next year. And I always got mad respect to them boys from Glen Hills, cause you know what I'm saying. Like that just family ties. My people from there, and so like Toot, Santo, Meek, like even Junior, Naquan, like it was just a good group of guys over there. And I would say I don't know, that's pretty much it that really stuck out to me. Seago, I'll take that back, Seago, because they had the Twin Towers, they had Jeffrey, they had KJ, Tyrone at the time. Like all those guys was just uber athletes. Like, that was just something I ain't never seen before.
Kyle mentioned Tyrone as well, and I forgot about him. But he was nice in middle school. I know he ended up playing football, Don said, but he was super nice in middle school.
He was like one of the first people that I seen, like, going to go slap people shots off the glass.
Another dude, light skin, he said Mike.
I think that was KJ.
Some dude named Mike went to Augusta Christian, Don said. He was nice, so he could fly, he could dunk. And I just can't think of his name.
He probably did go to Augusta Christian. I'm probably getting the name wrong, but they starting five was, like, legit.
Around that time, was Murphy good at all still? Or they kind of wasn't, was Levi had left by then?
It don't really, Murphy at that time don't stick out like that with me. Like, I just remember when I was a little bit younger, when Rod Hall and Darnell and them was there, I wasn't playing basketball at the time, but I knew that was Murphy had their tier when they was really running through everything. Yeah. So I remember that vividly too.
Okay. All right. So I asked about, the best and worst game. Was there ever a time in middle school, like, what was your worst game in middle school? You feel like there's nothing you could do with somebody?
I ain't gonna say my worst game, but the games that I wish I could have won, both of the games was versus Glen Hills Middle. Like, that just always been a checklist to me, man. Like, because at the time, Glen Hills Middle was ranked number 3 in the state. Like, they was the team to beat, and we trying to get there.
Yeah.
So
Did that have effect on your decision to go to Glen Hill? Or you knew you were going regardless.
I knew I was going regardless, like, but I just wanted to try to one up them so I could have something to say while I was with them while I was in school. Like, but yeah, that was already set in stone. I was like, dang, like, cause like that be the laughing joke, like to this day, like, yeah, that boy Aubrey was at Langford, got popped at Langford, now he wanna came and clicked up with them, like, man, y'all know that ain't the real story.
Well, I always thought you were going because your dad coached there. It just seemed like it made sense. Like most players that they go where their dad coach at.
Yeah, it made perfect sense. Like it just like I've been running my whole life. It just felt perfect for me.
Was there a side of you or a party or anybody that spoke to you was like, you should probably go against that grain? Like, your dad coached there, yeah, but you should play against your dad, not play with your dad. Oh, your dad wasn't having that. Like,
I never thought about going to another school or play for another school, not one bit. Like, that's just what it was.
You think if you wanted to, you'd been able to? You think you want to go to Richmond? He said, go ahead, Richmond.
I mean, yeah, if I was to ever go to Richmond,
ain't no way your dad gonna let that happen. I'm sure your dad knew what kind of player you was. Ain't no way you letting that just go.
Yeah, he wouldn't let that happen. He wouldn't let that happen for sure. Like, you know, but if I probably would have went to Richmond, I don't know. That would have been a funny little turnout.
You at Richmond?
I don't know, but I'm also Glen Hills, man. So even though we in Richmond right now, so it would have clashed at. I got big love for Richmond though.
Yeah. All right. So going into high school, I always get into this. So this is gonna be like the more questions, the more time we spend on this part though. But like going into high school, what was your expectations? Like that summer going into high school, what did you think?
Like I just knew that, like our 8th grade class coming in the 9th grade, we just knew like we was gonna be something to deal with, not immediately, but moving forward, because we still had some old veterans like Ron Myers and Fitz and all them. They was on their way out. We still had that type of leadership at that time. So we was just waiting on our time, man. We just knew like it was only a matter of time, like it was our time to like really.
Yeah, but I think, you got the best of both eras, I think, with just that 1 year gap.
Yeah.
Cause like you a year ahead of Don.
Yeah.
So when you went to Glen Hills your first year, you played JV and varsity.
Yeah.
So like I feel like the era after that was more so like if you nice, you gonna go in JV.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we played. Yeah, so first year, like I know, like there was probably like 4 or 5 of us. We most definitely could have suited up for varsity, but at that time, I ain't gonna lie to you, like the competitiveness during that time was just through the roof.
Mm.
Like I remember this
2010.
Day, this 2010, 2010, 2011. I remember this day vividly. We it was a Friday. We played Laney at Glen Hills. That's when you know they playing, it's JV and varsity.
Yeah, everybody playing that night.
We played. I played the whole game against Laney, JV. Dog fight, we ended up beating them, and then the varsity game come. Like that's when they had Rod Hall, Rob T, Coco, Moon, like just all them boys, man. Like I just remember telling myself, like when I was sitting on the sideline, cause they made like the first 4 threes of the game.
That's how they started off
like,
too.
My pops put me in. I'm like that was probably like one of the very few times I was like, "Hey pops, I don't think this game for me just yet." I don't think it's for me just yet, cause it was just like the atmosphere. Like I really felt like I wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
Like there was some real dogs on that floor.
I'm glad you mentioned this. I kind of go on a tangent here, but like talk about that, like how bright that light be for games like that.
Yeah.
You had plenty of them yourself, but I'm saying like as a freshman, being able to sit down and look at it.
Oh yeah.
Like you kind of want to spectate a little bit.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I wanted to. I was like, yeah, I'm finna sit here and watch the party, man. But at the end of the day, like when you got a coach like Travis Mcrae, he just want to throw you in the fire and see what you made of. Like I ain't gonna say I played bad, but I held my own.
Who you had to guard?
Who I had to guard for the first. Like I think when I got in the game, I think Jamie West was in the game.
Okay.
So I didn't really guard none of the starters, nothing like that. But I remember having to guard him, and we were just in 2-3 zone for the most part. But yeah,
That
was like a nightmare.
He made a 3 on you?
He probably did. The way that was raining.
Hey, I like the honesty.
Yeah,
I like the honesty.
The way that was raining threes, man, like, it was crazy. Like, I look up, it was like 21 to like 4, like first quarter.
So I probably lost that game.
Yeah, we did lose that game. I think we lost all our matchups against against Laney that year.
But that was a hard team to beat.
Yeah, that was real tough. Like, most definitely.
I do got a question. It's on a tangent. We gonna go in order still, but I still gotta ask this question. If it's a team that's in a different year, tell me. But that Laney team, that one that you played that year, do you feel like your 12th grade year team could have beat that team?
Our 12th grade team could have beat Rod Hall no team?
Yeah, I know.
Or the state championship team?
No, the Rod Hall team that you played against, right? You said Rod Hall didn't play, right?
Yeah.
That team could this nigga start like,
it's
could
tough.
your 12th grade year, because remember y'all started 16-0. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember more than anybody.
Yeah.
16-0.
Facts. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, we're gonna go with different times, because it was a different time back then. Like, them boys, I'll say this. It would have been a dog fight. I could see them having the edge on us. I could see them having the edge.
I got Route Dynasty.
Because they bench was deeper, and they just, like I said, Raw Hall was just a goon, man. It was different. He was dunking 2 feet freshman year. Like,
so you got Raw Hall, that's all. Now what?
At that time, man, like I said, like, Raw Hall, number 12.
It ain't that easy, is it?
Like, I ain't going against him, man, at all. Like, I'm not finna sit here and act like I would have did something to him, because he is a beast.
So watching that in real time, how did that affect you? Like, I know you said, like, about getting in the game and having to do your thing. Anyway, you still play basketball. You got to play. Like, what did it seeing those games, like, from the sideline standpoint, or like just on the bench, you played your game ready. So get to watch JV that year through the lens of the sideline, like maybe getting in here and there or just watching the game. What did that do for you going into your 10th grade year?
Man, I was just saying I had to get better, because I knew, like, when I was going to my 10th grade year, my role was gonna upgrade. And once the season ended, like, we was right back to spring training. Like, we was more prepared. So I just know I just had to get better if I wanted to, like, reach those type of goals and statuses, like how Raw Hall and them boys did. So it definitely motivated me to get better as a person and a player. Most definitely.
That one game you're talking about with Laney, did you ever talk to your dad about that game? Like, what did he say about what did he see when you got in the game?
Nah, I really don't know what he saw. He just threw me out there for real. I mean, there was no reason not to throw me out there, but I just think he just figured, like, okay, let me see what he can do.
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing bad or nothing crazy like that. I was just overly nervous.
But during that time, like during that year, did you play a lot? Did you play a lot your freshman year?
Not varsity, not like that. Like, when it was like a lot of, like, tournaments during the holidays, that's when I mostly played.
Yeah.
Because you had Sanquan Nip and Ryan them playing majority of the minutes, and we was playing mainly JV. So
I was trying to get to that, actually. So, because you mentioned, like, you're playing JV your 9th grade year, and like I said, you were already good. You've been good to me all your career. Like, you got some players, like I talked to Kyle, and he was like, I wasn't always that good.
Yeah.
I end up having a growth spurt, then having, like, having to work as a guard for most of my career, and getting that growth spurt helped me as a big man. And then I have certain coaches, so he just ended up developing himself, and he getting way better. You got somebody like Darius, been good since they was younger. Some players just been good since they started playing basketball, and you one of them. So I wonder, like, at least for your time at Glen Hills, when you first got there and you play in 9th grade, and then you don't play varsity. What did you think of the team? Like, was y'all team that stacked? Because I also talked to somebody, he was like, well, our team was so stacked that, you really couldn't even fit in on varsity at that time.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say, like, you couldn't really fit in. It just more so the mindset and the maturity, because, like, it's just a big jump going from middle school into high school or JV to varsity. So when you coming in and knowing, like, you could bring something to the table or know you that person, you still got to go into that situation humble, because ain't nobody perfect, ain't nobody bigger than the program. So you just got to establish your role and then just continue to get better.
Yeah.
Because once you're going there acting arrogant and all this stuff, things is not going to work the best for you. Especially, like, when you got a person like me who already, some people may think just because my dad is the coach, they already he think he's entitled to certain things.
Yeah.
So you gotta already come with that mindset. Like I gotta go. It's just hard and not the hardest.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you said it because that's my next follow-up question we're going to ask. Like, did you ever feel like anybody felt like even you said you got in the game, like what made you get in the game versus somebody else? You know, did you ever think like somebody ever thought like you getting some opportunity because you're his son?
I mean, I think that all the time. It's natural because that's my pops. But like your mind can make you run a million places. Like if you just put yourself in a box and think of those little things.
Yeah.
So I just tried the best to just stay positive and just continue to do what I do because at the end of the day, like there's no bad intentions with me. We all got the same goals. So I didn't really think of it like that too much. Like I just focus on the game, my teammates, and just getting the job done. Because people gonna say things regardless.
Yeah, because one thing I think I thought about, like, said, I never really watched Glen Hills. Like I said, I watched Don, wherever he went, I watched them. I didn't really watch everybody in the city per se. But at that time, when you went to high school, I'm watching middle school because Don is a year behind you. And I'm thinking like, okay, well, Aubrey going to high school. I'm one of the people, I'm like, oh, he playing varsity. Just off the rip, you know. I don't know what team they got. I don't know who on them. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
But I also watch you, and I never watched you play bad. So, but you made a good point. That jump from 8th grade, middle school ball, rather, to high school was you playing with 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then sometimes 18, 19-year-olds.
Right.
These big boys.
Especially around that time, like with JV, like some of them guys that was in 11th grade was playing JV too. So it just, like I said, it's all mental. Because the whole time, I'm thinking when I'm playing varsity and I'm 13 years old, I may think I can't play out here, but all that shit, I just need to calm down and just let the game come to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying, just mindset and maturity.
So let's talk about going to the 10th grade year. Now I know you play AAU and stuff. So around this time, who was you playing with at the time, AAU wise? You were still with
I think it was either Will Avery, then we ended up making that jump to Georgia Stars.
Yeah, so I want to talk about the Will Avery thing real quick because that's where I played with Will Avery. What was that experience like, and then what was your relationship like with Will Avery, if you ever met him?
Man, Will Avery is a GOAT, man. I just appreciate him taking the time to invest in some young kids and start his program like that. Cause at that time, like there wasn't too many people doing that. And I kind of already knew who Will Avery was because my granddad was the athletic director at Westside at the time, and he told me stories about Will Avery, Ricky Moore, and all those guys. And he went to Duke, got drafted by the Timberwolves, played with Chauncey Billups and all of them.
Yep.
So I already knew the background history, and then so I just took that opportunity to learn and grow, like just how to get to your one dribble pull up and just how to just approach the game.
So I do want to bring up an AAU game. You probably already know I'm getting that, but like I remember watching y'all play. Like when y'all played with Where Every Stars, I remember it was you. So one person we didn't mention, I don't know if you mentioned him or not, that was like, to me now, I don't know how you feel, but like one of the best middle school players I've seen ever play was Bubba. You know, and a lot of people don't mention him a lot. I know his life went how it went, but
Bubba was a problem.
Yeah.
Like, know what I'm saying? He was, because I think at the time, Bubba was playing with Georgia Atlanta Heat with Coach Rodney. With Coach Rodney and Reggie Reed and them. And then, you know, Pete Dunn and Tony Dagg and them, they were coaching Augusta Metro. So once Will Avery decided to put us all together, that's when I really realized like how good Bubba really was. And he was on that team when Glen Hills Middle was actually pretty good too.
Yeah, he was on that team,
Like he got to a mid-range. He was a dog. He didn't pout, none of that stuff. He was a real cool person. So, big shout out to Bubba, dog.
Shout out to Bubba for real. So, and I like this kind of conversation because it brings people up that people not knowing about or not thinking about. And so, think about that. So, it was you, it's Bubba, it's Dez. I think Reggie's playing with y'all all the time.
Maurice.
Darius
played with us.
Darius played that game for sure. I remember the first time I seen him. So I'm bringing this thing because to me, at that time, y'all the best AU team in the area.
Yeah, it was us in Southern Kings. Don and Jay Sean, what's up?
So I remember, that's the game I'm bringing up. So this is you can tell me your recollection of it, but I'll tell you my recollection of it. Like, I looked at it from a brother's standpoint, Don, you know what I'm saying? So when Don made the switch at first, you know, it was more so like, let's do it because I felt like he could get different looks. It's hard to get looks under you and Dez, not because y'all dad the coach at all. Just y'all was in y'all position. Don was still out of position at the time, so I don't know if he had 3, a 2, or 1.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. He just started getting ball handling a little bit up, so when he went to the own thing, I said, well, yeah, get your own team. Like, go
the Kings, right?
Yeah, so just go do your own thing.
At the time, they were King James shooting stars.
That's what they started off then.
Yeah.
And because they had another point guard, I think some dude from West Side, some Hispanic kid. I think
his first name was Nick.
Something
Nick
like that.
Castleberry.
Yeah, but
don't quote me. If I mess up your name, my fault.
I know he went to West Side. I just can't think his name right now. It's some Hispanic dude. He had a little brother too, but it's not even the point. The thing was, you know, and the team they had wasn't like that great, but Don had good games because he's able to work on his game. I said, I like you, stay here.
Yeah, facts.
Well, fast forward, they end up getting Jay Sean.
Yeah.
And what's my man from Washington County? AJ.
AJ, yeah. Yeah, I'm my dog, AJ.
And y'all had that game at
it was at Riverview.
At Riverview. For the championship. Now at this time, you know, in Don mind, he playing against his former boys, you know, but y'all have always been the best team. Y'all won everything. Like y'all used to blow everybody out all the time.
Facts.
And this was like a dogfight game. Like it came down to the wire and everything, right? My recollection of it was just like after the game, you were so mad, right? Let me tell you, like,
livid.
I seen you give everybody 5, and you was like, "That was bullshit. That was bullshit. Badass game." Like that shit had me crying. He was fapping, but you gave him 5 though. But you just was like, you was not respecting it at all.
Facts, cause like at the end of the day, once we in that line of fire, I'm pretty sure if my team would have won, they would have did the exact same thing. But on the bright side of it, like once we get outside the court, we might meet each other in the lobby area or the concession stand or outside in the gym, we gonna laugh about it. Cause like that's just what we do, man. But big shout out to them boys, man.
But I think about this. We talking about like, cause we always talk about how Augusta have too many AU teams, all that stuff. And even then, y'all still, like when y'all got to high school, y'all consolidated. I'm probably fast forward, but y'all consolidated. You play with them as well when you got to high school. But you think about it, talking about AJ, Jay Sean, Aubrey, Don Coleman, Reggie Reed. I'm just naming them 5. I ain't even mention Malik Dunbar.
Yeah, facts.
Marquise Sumner.
Facts.
You know, it's like, it's I probably, a few more I probably could name, but I'm just saying all on one team. Y'all all have your own legacy in your own right.
Right.
And then y'all always the man where y'all was at in your own right.
Yeah, that's crazy. That Southern Kings team at that time, like it was just a pleasure to be around those group of guys, because at the end of the day we all grew up with each other.
Yeah.
And at some point in time we played against each other or with each other. So like we all had one common goal. It just we all trying to play college basketball. So we all just made that decision that we all just come together for that one last season.
Well, do me a favor, talk about, I'm gonna get back to high school, but talk about that for a minute, like how the transition of going from your 11th and 12th grade year, you know, you at Glen Hills and you the man at them years. Like to me, you were the man in them years.
Yeah.
Talk about going from that and then coming to AAU where like, not saying you not the man, but this game might not be your game. Because it was like that with all y'all. Don had to take a step back sometime. Jay Sean take a step back sometime in Reggie Reed game. How hard or was that hard to adjust to when you play AAU and you trying to get looks and scholarships?
See, AAU was different back then, man. Like, when you play AAU, you literally got picked to play on the AAU team. Like, nobody was coming. Like, ain't no you seeking to go play for an AAU team. Nah, they was coming to you, and they want you to play for their squad, and that what was going on. So, like, at the end of the day, the transition, it wasn't really that hard because we already knew what we signed up for. Because at that time, at our age group, it was Will Avery Stars / Georgia Stars. And then you had Southern Kings. And then you had Team Power. So it really wasn't a no-brainer, like, which teams you could play for. But one thing I can say is, like, there was really not, like, how it is now. You go, all right, I'm going to play with this team this weekend and play with that team next weekend. Nah, like, it's either you playing with them or you playing with this other team. So when I made that decision to go play with these other guys, like, I already came to peace. Like, all right, I done been with this team for so long, and they really can't be mad or whatever. So that's just how I took it.
So I'm gonna keep jumping back and forth from AU to basketball to high school. So getting to high school, your 10th grade year. Talk about that year and what you learned that year, because that was also a year where, like, it was still like a growing year for you. You played a lot, but it was still like a growing year for you.
You talking about my 10th grade year, right?
Yeah, sophomore.
Okay, so even though that was my first year starting varsity. That was a tough year because Laney, that state championship team, they was loaded.
Pick your mic up a little bit.
There
you go, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so my 10th grade year, that was a big year for me to grow as a player because, for one, it took that nervousness out of me, because my mind was matured to go play with.
What you was nervous for? Just before you, I'm sorry, but like, what would make you nervous? Was it the people in the stands? Was it the bright lights? Was it
the bright lights? And then like being a little boy watching your dad coach millions of teams, and nowadays you on the floor with him, and just that magnitude, that just a different type of pressure by itself. So that's why it was pretty tough for me. But the transition, like playing against older guys, that was just the opportunity because that Laney team, that was the team that won state. Then you had Kyle Doyle and that Josie team. They ended up winning region that year. Washington County was pretty good. Like every team.
Westside, Frank Booker.
Yeah.
Butler, Dan, and Ron.
Man, I'm saying that whole region was just bananas, and like that was just my year to step up.
Burke County was good that year too. If I'm mistaken, Burke County was good.
Yeah,
that year
I'm saying
too.
every school was really good, and yeah, that was just a tough year for me to like really mature for real.
So what you think that year as far as you starting, like how would you grade yourself that year? Of course you had other better years of course, but how would you grade yourself that year?
To be brutally honest, I'll give myself C plus B. C plus B.
What does that mean?
Like I could have done better if I would have just had a better mindset or just thought things differently. Because once you in it, you don't necessarily know what's going on until after you reflect on certain things.
Let me ask you, and I'm asking this, I'm trying to think myself for, of course, for Don, I'm thinking what, it's probably the wrong word to use, so don't take offense to it, but was there ever any kind of intimidation there? And I don't mean you scared of a player. I just mean with the lights, them being bigger, did you ever second guess things? Like, should I reach? Should I be stronger? Should I go that way?
I mean, only time I felt that type of way is when, I ain't gonna say intimidated, but I'm just saying like what we up against, coming up. Like, for example, that first game, I don't know why we always playing Laney the first game of the year or whatever, but that was my first game starting varsity, and it was against Laney, and we already know how that Laney team was, and we playing Josie. We know how playing against them was, and then when we get to the region tournament, you got to win certain games by a certain amount of points.
Back then,
all that other stuff. So that just, I would say that part of it was, I ain't gonna say intimidating, but the pressure is up.
Yeah.
But other than that, I went the game settled down for me. It was just them marquee matchups. All right, we know these are city rivalries, so we just know we gotta perform.
So I think I'm glad you said that, what you said about your grading and stuff, but I do feel like if anybody follow your history and just what you did in school, that make your 11th grade year 10 times better, and then your 12th grade 10 times better, because the way y'all won games those 2 years, it probably due to the fact of how y'all lost games prior to, if that makes sense. And then now, you the man, not that you're just starting, but the offense going through you.
Right.
You have a bad game, it's 9 times out of 10 y'all lost the game. I'm not saying people can't play, but you that much of a key factor for your team.
Most definitely. To pick back up what I was saying earlier, once I got into that transition from 8th grade to 9th grade year, that group of guys like me, Santo, Earl, Toot, Khalil, man, Naquan, we just already knew once it's our time, it was our time. Because my 10th grade year, Naquan in 11, he's the only 11th grade in the rest, 12th grade, Mike, Steve, and Jared, Otto, and all them, Leroy. So we were just waiting on our time, all right, once they out the way, we gonna, we got it. No disrespect to our OGs, we were just saying, my graduating class, we just knew, once we fully had all the keys to what we was trying to do, we just know. because that 10th grade season, that 10th grade year against like that state championship team, that was just nothing but growing pains.
Yeah.
So we just knew what to expect coming in, because at that time, like we know everybody now.
But one thing I like about Glen Hills, I always say this, I'm write it down, 41 seconds. One thing I like about Glen Hills, at least the team you was on, I've seen so much camaraderie. And I mean by that, like, even when y'all lost, y'all look good losing. I always say that's a big, to me, when a team can look good losing, I'm always worried for them the next year.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I mean, like, it wasn't, if y'all did, what y'all did in the locker room, I wouldn't know. But on the floor, I never seen pointing fingers. Y'all wasn't, like, arguing 24/7. Like, y'all lost, cool, we lost, boom, next game up. But I just think that made it better for the next year, because all I seen, even against y'all lose, super camaraderie, super, like, it don't have to be you. You can make a shot, cool. Somebody make a shot, you applauding for them. It's just like everybody was happy for everybody.
Oh, yeah. Like, that just going back to, like, being in middle school, like, together. Like, most of us played rec football together, like, basketball, like, in the summertime. Like, we was always friends. So, like, once we got on the court, it just made things a million times easy.
Just real quick question, because you mentioned it. I wanted to make sure I asked that question. You said your 10th grade year, you had started. Did you start all? Was you in the starting lineup, or was it like sometimes you would, sometimes you wouldn't?
I was starting.
Okay. And do you feel like people feel like you should have started in 10th grade?
I mean, some people can feel like I should have came out the bench, but in my own right, I felt like I should have started, because I just felt like why not? Like, at the end of the day, we all helping the team win.
Yeah.
So,
I don't mean that in the sense like to go at somebody per se, because I know Spartans don't diss Spartans. I ain't saying that, but I'm definitely saying like, do you feel like you was there at that age, at that time in that grade?
Yeah, most definitely like my freshman and sophomore year, because there was more upperclassmen and they just feel like that was more mature. And but hey, like, if I was a coach and my son was on the team, I would throw him out there too, just to see what he can do. Like, no, not against the other players, but that's just how I view it.
But you wasn't bad. It's not.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make it sound like just because you was the son, because like that's just something that just happens to be.
Yeah.
Whether that coach was Coach Q, Coach
Yeah.
B, I feel like you still would have played and still started because you were just nice.
Right.
But I just wondered that because, like I said, there are people that only see things from a distance, like, oh, that's his son, so of course.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think about those things often, but it's just how you approach things. Like, if you think about things like that, like, you worry about the wrong things. So,
all right, let's get to the good portion of your high school career, the real good portion, 11th grade year.
man, we just knew that was the year. I think we won like 23 straight, 22 straight, but we ended up losing to Don now. Like, he ended our streak though. So, but
it was 16, but it's no big deal.
It was 16-0.
16-0.
Hey, that's still tough though.
But them 16 came from it wasn't no easy teams.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like, we was grinding all summer, like that summer leading up to 11th grade year. Like, all we did was be in that old gym at Glen Hills. We would run diamond press by ourselves the whole time in that hot box.
So, but continue talking about that, because, like I said, that Glen Hills team started off so hot, 16-0. Mind you, even that one loss didn't stop y'all. Y'all ain't lose 5 games straight. Y'all lost that one time and y'all kept going again.
Oh yeah.
What I'm saying is, talk about like the hard work and how much work was put in to even getting that 16-0 record to begin with. Because it wasn't just pure talent.
Yeah. So, about around that time when we in 11th grade, like, that's like almost the same kids that we was playing in middle school.
Yeah.
So, like, once it got back to the even playing ground, like, all right, there's no real upperclassmen. These everybody we done basically played against in middle school. It was like, no disrespect them, but we just know, like, ain't nobody beating us. Like, everybody's gone. State championship team gone. Like, now all we got is our peers. That's just how we felt coming into every game.
Real quick, you said state championship team gone. How explosive was that? One, the Rod Hall team from Laney, and then the team afterwards without Rod Hall. Like, they must have been like really, really good, because everybody said that same thing from your era. Like, once they left, we knew we was good.
Man, that was just OP, man. Like, that was just OP. Like, there was people, like, we was right here and they was just up there. Like, you just know, like, you can't make no mistake. They're going to capitalize everything. Even if you play the perfect game, you still might be down 15, 20 points, because they was just that good.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, for real. Like, take my hat out to them boys.
So, I know a few games y'all had playing up until y'all did lose your first game. Y'all went 16-1. But one game in particular that I like the most, and I love Laney. I love my brothers. But you hit a game winner.
Yeah.
You hit a game winner against Laney at the Hill.
Yeah.
Part of them 16 games, I think y'all beat Laney and y'all beat Aquinas.
While you playing,
y'all beat a good Aquinas team with Meg.
While you playing, so all that was during like Christmas time.
Yeah.
I think we played Aquinas in the Christmas tournament. Then we ended up having like a non-region game against Laney at Glen Hills.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would like concluded like the winter game, the little Christmas break games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a dog fight, man. I remember that game like it was yesterday. From the time they walked in and from the time the game was over with. Like, I remember like it was yesterday. Like, they came in the gym like 5 minutes to 10 minutes late. They walked through the court. They all swagged out. You feel me? Like, they just got that swagger, like stupid or like they LCL. I'm like, in back of my mind, like, ain't no way they just came here thinking that, like, they walking here late thinking they just finna get a dub. But that's just the competitive nature. And I'm like, ain't it Jay Sean them too? I'm like, oh yeah, come on with it, man. But yeah, that was a dog fight. To this day, we still argue about like, oh, they started the clock late.
But do you remember that play? Because
I remember the play.
I'm not trying to cause trouble, but I feel like Jay Sean supposed to guard you, and it must have been some kind of mix-up because I remember him just putting his hand on, like, what the hell happened?
Like, all I remember was Santo had the ball, like, on the side. And I was like, all right, I'm going to just try to, like, do a little down screen or something just to shake him up. I do remember Jay Sean guarding me. But but I know Santo passed the ball in to Maurice. I set an up screen for somebody. I don't necessarily remember right now. But all I know was I ended up right up under the basket, and Maurice just threw a dime, and I was just by myself.
Wide open.
And once I made it, I look at Jay Sean and Chris, and they looking at each other. Javon grabbed the ball. Everybody flooded the court. I'm like, golly, this one was crazy.
Yeah,
and I was like, yo, let me see what these folks got to say on Twitter about that one. Like, that was a lit game.
That was also a time like that era. I was talking to Kyle about the same thing. I said, that era, I forgot. I ain't mentioned Twitter too much, but yeah, you had Twitter. That's when people was really active. So after every game, you go to Twitter to talk.
Even Chad.
AUGB ball. Yeah. So it's all and even that play is on camera. It's like all documented. Yeah. We watched the other day. We watched Laney play Westside at Westside back when they had that old gym in the student section and things of that nature. When you had Frank Booker shooting from the damn logo every time. But y'all beat Westside too. So y'all beat a lot of people that year. Like y'all beat a lot of good teams. Y'all beat Aquinas, Med Hill Aquinas.
Yeah, we beat Med and them.
Y'all beat Jay Sean, Zep, and Christian Laney.
Y'all
beat Darius Josie, which I ain't gonna lie, I thought y'all were gonna lose that game. I did, because Darius was going crazy that year. He averaged 30 for the whole year.
He was going crazy that year, but it's just something about that rivalry, man. Like, I don't know. We just took it personally that we ended up getting that win.
So y'all beat a Darius Josie. Then y'all also trying to think y'all beat Richmond. Y'all beat everybody around here.
Like that what I'm saying. Around that time,
everybody around y'all beat.
Like that, around that time, the only loss was really taken was from Laney. Like for real. No disrespect, for real.
Nah. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
But the thing is, like, no knock to nobody in the city, because I really felt like the time we was living in, I would say from 2009-ish to like 2016, 2015-ish. I would say when Zep and Christian was there after they last year, like, as far as like every school having equal talent, it would never be like that ever again. So like every game was literally a dog fight. So when we was winning against these other teams, and when like, we was winning all the games, but we was coming out there. We was leaving the game bruised up, like.
But y'all also wasn't going into the game like knowing y'all was gonna win. Like, we gonna win. Y'all had to get that.
Yeah, like we know, like, dang, we gotta wake up. We gotta get ready for Darius. We know he finna go for 30. Dunn, we know he finna go for 30. Laney, we finna know they finna come hard. We gotta be worried about all of them.
Yeah.
We just like, so It's just crazy.
I know I mentioned some games, but I wanted to get to, because you did mention one thing. You just said around that time, you only lost to Laney. But that year in particular, I don't know who all y'all lost to. I know y'all lost to Butler twice.
That junior year, we did lose to Butler twice.
So I know the first time was at Glen Hills.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about that because, like I said, this was your team at that time, you know. What was your thoughts from that game? I don't know if you remember. I remember a lot of stuff.
I'm a real one. I'm gonna speak on it.
Twitter tore y'all ass up,
bro.
Which was sad. Because y'all had won 16 games.
Yeah,
but I mean, people were saying crazy stuff to y'all. How y'all let this light skin nigga come in and do that to y'all?
Bro, like, he just had a hot hand, bro. We just, like, once a dude got a hot hand like that, you can't do nothing about it. Like, man.
I do ask you a question, though. This is on the. When you think about that game, or think about what Don ended up doing and stuff like that, when you think about when y'all was younger, did you ever see him playing that good, like being that good? Because at the time he came out the bench. He came out the bench with y'all. He just came and shoot 4 or 5 threes, maybe and go sit down.
I mean, the potential was always there. It was just a matter of getting his own time and just being comfortable in his own skin. Like, so, like when he was playing with us, like he probably didn't have the confidence like at that time. So once he got into his own situation, like that's all he really needed, and there was no looking back. So to answer your question, yeah, I seen it in him.
Now back to the game. How you felt? Because y'all 16-0 at this point.
Man, all I was saying was like, there's no way there's no way we gonna lose. Like even though he's still scoring, like he just gonna have to, like, I don't know. It was crazy, but once the game ended, all of us sat in the locker room like, bro, like what really just happened? and just like that, the streak over with. Like, I didn't, like you said, they were blowing us up on Twitter. I didn't even want to check Twitter. Like, I didn't even want to see none of it. Like, I just want to go and get past the weekend, go and get to the next game so we can, like, it could be a throwaway or something. Because, like, yeah, that was ringing bells the whole time. I think Don got, player of the week that week too?
Yeah.
Something like that, because, it was crazy.
Yeah, well, I was at work. So I didn't know. I just kept getting text messages like, yo, your brother going.
That was a crazy year, because we ended up losing to Statesboro in the region tournament. Cause I had the matchup circled up. I'm like, we done lost to Butler twice already. So when we played the region tournament in Statesboro, we ended up losing to what's Buddy's name from Statesboro?
I forgot his name. Yeah. He was nice.
It was like Quay or something like that.
Yeah.
He ended up going for like 30. So that's how they all end up playing each other in like Don and Quay end up playing each other in the championship. And that's when they end up going for 52, 46, something like that. I was really mad. But
I only say that to say because, like, I know, like you said, it's twice, and I always wondered that. My same thing. I was like, damn, I didn't want to play y'all. I didn't want y'all to lose, but I didn't want to play y'all.
Yeah, facts.
I'm like, it's hard to be the team 3 times.
Facts.
I said, ain't no way Don can go 3 times against them now.
But at that time, like, Dan had it so set up for.
It was only Ron playing that time too.
Not Dan. I mean his younger brother Ron.
Yeah, like, and he had Marquise Leverett.
Yeah, Marquise Leverett. Them boys, like, they had Ben, all them boys. Like at that time, like the inside press that Butler had, it was like nobody had that. Yeah. So like whenever they got the rebound, it just enabled Don to get to it quicker. Like you look up, he got 14 points. Like it was like the game just started. For real. So
that's funny.
For real.
Shout out to Zai. I want to say shout out to Zai Cook, because I don't think Zai played varsity with y'all that year. I don't know what happened, because he was texting me.
He was playing JV at the time, but we was like,
he was texting me.
We was so loaded though. I don't want to think he suited up though.
Yeah.
He suited up, but like as far as like starting, he ain't start to my senior year.
Yeah. So just shout. But that's what I say. That year was also like just a competitive year. You know what I'm saying? And but you held it down. Like you did your thing as always. And then going into your 12th grade year, y'all won a region.
Yeah, we did. That was, at that point, when it got to my senior year, it was just like, all right, it's just time to handle business, man. Like, there ain't nothing else to be said. Because we done played against these same group of people, like, for the last 3 years. So it's just all about making adjustments to your game, making adjustments so your team get better and know who you going against, so you can know what to do moving forward. So
What was there any particular team that you just hated playing during high school? Like, I don't want to play. Not that you scared, but obviously, like, they just had y'all number. Like, it was hard for y'all to beat this team. Not that y'all wasn't better, but you know how that goes. Sometimes matchups just
there's gonna Cross Creek.
I always they was a sleeper. They was a sleeper for any school.
I remember when summer league started going into the 12th grade year, everybody was saying Cross Creek was gonna be the team beating everybody. So like they had Pell and all them. They had Pell, Desmond, Malik, Barry, Vince. They had all them guys on that team. So like every time we played them, it was like, bro, it's not gonna be no easy win.
They just play hard though.
Like we might go up, but they gonna come back and make it a game. Like it was always it was always like, all right, we grateful to get up out of here.
Yeah.
So Cross Creek definitely one of those tough teams that we always was fortunate enough to get by with a win.
What team did you get up for the most? Like when you know you're playing this team, I'm up. Whether it was a school pride thing or whether it was like that player, I know like they think he gonna get off, so I'm about to turn up.
I'll say Laney, cause the bros was there, and then just out the strength like Laney, I just felt like at the time was the only school that was like getting transfer portals and stuff like that, like
chill.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it there. So that was always on my list. I think at the time Malik wanted to go to Laney too.
Yeah,
like everybody just wanted to go to Laney. So I respect it, but I was just saying like as a Glen Hill Spartan, that just made me want to like just play y'all and win even more.
You said Laney was Grovetown before Grovetown.
That's what y'all want to say. Yeah, and then of course playing Don because he was at Butler. It's like literally on the other side of the lump, and it's just that little rivalry we have. We in the same region, so I just know like it was going two good friends competing. So it was always Laney and Butler.
I always wished y'all had guarded each other more. I feel like y'all played so much but didn't guard each other a lot.
I understand that. Like a lot of people say that, but I just feel like
y'all the only ones though. I'm telling you, when it was Laney, sometimes Jay Sean guard Don, sometimes guard Don.
Yeah.
Laney and Darius, Josie, they always guarded each other.
Man,
I just rarely seen y'all guard each other.
Nah, see, I'm gonna be real honest. Like at the time, like Don and Darius was like the type of players that were just so downhill. I didn't know how to like guard that. I was about to cuss, but I don't know how to guard it. So like the way they just drew contact, it flared a little bit, get the end one, all that stuff, I was gonna foul out. So
yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let them handle that defense responsibility. I'm gonna worry about the other stuff. Like when it came to that,
I would assume it's tiring too, because a lot of times with Darius and Don, I've seen a lot of teams do this. They just throw different people at them the whole game. Because you can't have one person on the whole game. Because the volume of how they shoot, and they shoot.
Yeah, at a volume rate like J.R. Smith.
Every possession, they going to shoot the ball.
Yeah, it's very tiring.
How you guard that? Like, how you say, I'm going to stop them from going 20, that's going to shoot 20 times?
Just, you know what I'm saying, just making it comfortable, like making it uncomfortable for them. But at that time, like, they was scoring and shooting at a volume rate, like, it'll be some ways that, like, the referee just blew a whistle, like, bro, I didn't even touch him. Like, he just doing all type of stuff. Like, like it was very tough to guard at that time. But I ain't not saying I'm not a defensive player, but at that time, like the way they was scoring the ball at a high volume, shooting the ball, like I didn't learn all that stuff till a couple years later. They already had that.
Yeah.
So,
which I think you're the perfect person to talk about this too. So you mentioned like obviously you came in 9th grade. And the lights was bright, a lot going on. Obviously, you've seen a different era. You've seen the Raw Hornum era, then you've seen the championship team era, and they leave. So y'all have this mindset like, okay, they gone now, cool. We can have regular basketball again, not these Space Jam juggernauts, right?
Yeah.
And y'all look at people like Don or Darius, who came in 9th grade and just really just got thrown out there 9th grade year. So, and I look at the top player you are, and it make what they did so much more special because they seem comfortable out there.
Yeah.
I say 10th grade. 9th grade, 10th grade to me, because 9th grade I still thought they were too small. But they score, they help their team. But in 10th grade, they just seem very comfortable out there. And I wonder how much, like you mentioned confidence, like how much of you putting your team on your back has to do with that. Because you just had a good team.
Yeah,
they didn't have good teams per se. It was good players on teams that had rosters.
Yeah. I would just say they just going with learning and playing as you go. Because I think like my 10th grade year, Butler went to the state championship that year, but they lost to Columbia. I think that's when
ninth grade.
That was done 9th grade year. That's when y'all had the pink shoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you gotta think about it. Like Rod Hall and them gone.
Yeah.
So you got Jamie and you got Jamie and them team, and then you got Chris Washington, Don and them team. So like it just come with like just knowing like, all right, once they over with, I'm just gonna put my work in. But when my time come, it's gonna come. Like that's just how I feel about it.
During your 12th grade year, and then like not going into 12th grade year, and then also the AAU season that year. Cause I watched you play Southern Kings that year, AAU season. Talk about like the recruiting process, like, and what did you think of it? Now, mind you, you going against the position you playing, you going against guards every night that's scoring at a high volume. Not that you couldn't score at a high volume, but you wasn't shooting at a high volume. Y'all played team ball, y'all had plays, so you was more efficient. In my opinion, you was more efficient than me. Both of them probably on the floor. What's that recruiting process like? And did you ever feel like, damn, I wish I went to a school I could shoot the ball anytime I want to?
To pick back up on that, I would say that. So what a lot of people don't know, like, well, the ones that was around know, like, I played football all the time too. So I was playing football for Glen Hills the first 2 years.
Swear to God, I never knew that. That's the first time I heard that. I never knew you played football.
Man,
I don't follow the Hill stuff.
Bro,
no disrespect to you.
I was playing football before I was playing basketball for real.
Damn. Like,
so, like, after my 10th grade year playing varsity at Glen Hills, and we started. That's when we formed that team with I want to thank Will Avery. I think that's 14 on. I take it back. But once I started taking AAU basketball real serious, I had a real great summer leading up to 10th grade, going on to 11. So I just made the ultimate decision to like, all right, just fully focus on basketball because I know like this is where it's gonna be like as far as getting a scholarship. And at the time, Florida Atlantic was talking with me, Georgia Southern, Jacksonville University. So like I was just, all right, I don't got nothing going on for football, so it just made me just channel all the way into basketball naturally. I was even telling my dad like, days when I wasn't doing nothing, like, can you take me to the gym? Like, let's get shots. So like I just really took pride on the off-season work because once the season, like, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't, like, back then, like, the off-season work really matters. Like, coming to the season, nobody wins just sitting out, not doing anything. And then once the season come, like, you just think you're just gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like, you literally had to put in work once the season ended and once the season started. Like, that's when basketball can't get around for me.
I think of what you just said, and I think of like the fact that season you started off 16-0.
Yeah.
So it's not a coincidence. It wasn't by mistake you started off 16-0. You just went hard as hell that summer.
Yeah.
And y'all all got better. You just mentioned earlier, you was like, y'all was in there doing diamond practices on your own, no coach. Yeah. Most players today, they don't even practice at practice.
You know what I'm saying?
They just there.
It's bad, man.
It's horrible.
Like, this generation, I ain't gonna say it's their fault, but we just, like, we not heading towards a good direction as far as, like, the future of, like, the seriousness of trying to get to where you're trying to go as far as playing college basketball. Like, I don't like it at all, man.
So talk about, like, your decision too, because you went to Georgia Southern.
Yeah, I went to Georgia Southern.
What was your decision to go there? Like, what was it for you? Like, I'm going here.
So I was scheduled a visit.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I gotta go back real quick. I can't let you get off with that. Y'all beat the championship. Y'all beat Liberty County.
Yeah, we beat Liberty County.
That dude's in the NBA right now.
Yeah, Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
What's crazy was they was talking about Davion Mitchell before we even got before the game even started. They was saying like, oh, this guy right here probably gonna go D1. Like soon as he came into high school, they was already saying that. But they were saying like he was really good with football too.
Yeah.
They were saying all those guys at Liberty County was basically two-way athletes, but we felt like we got the momentum coming in because we had a tough game against Richmond in the semis, and we felt like that was the championship game. To be completely honest,
Who was in the Richmond team?
It was Tiger, it was Moses, Mark Walden, Frank Roberts, and all those guys.
Okay, gotcha.
So, yeah, so we already felt like, all right, we done beat them, so we just need to just handle business. But that wasn't an easy game to win, though. It was a low-scoring game. Like, both teams shot the ball terrible, and it just literally came down to 50-50 balls and free throws. So.
But you won.
Yeah, we won. You know what I'm saying? We gonna take it, man.
How did that feel like winning that region?
Man, it just felt like it was a small milestone to the major goal, but we did like cherish the moment because we know like it's not easy to do.
Yeah.
And due to the fact that we was 10-0 in the region play. We was 10-0 in region play, so it just made it a little bit more special. But unfortunately, we didn't win the championship. But at least we got something that we can hang our heads high about. So,
but I think about why we doing this here. Like, of course, the Clash is happening this weekend, and it's pretty much for bragging rights. It's just fun, but it's for bragging rights and it's competitive. But you talking about going 10-0 in the region and then winning the region championship. It's like, who really was seeing y'all? But I know you're super respectful to teams, but this is me being a person who got a brother in that same region.
Yeah.
But what team is really seeing y'all?
Facts. Yeah. I mean,
all your trials and tribulations, 9th, 10th, 16-1, then this nigga come scorching you up to 11th grade. It made all for a better 12th grade year. In region play, you just locked in and didn't lose nothing.
Yeah.
To go 10-0 the region and then win a region game, you know how long that is to not lose a game?
Yeah, that's a long time. That's like almost 2 months.
2 months of not losing the game is crazy.
It's like 2 months. And yeah, it definitely wasn't easy, but a lot of our peers said that we was blowing teams out, but it was just, hey man, we was just at the end of the day we was having fun, and to pick back up, we was saying like how I don't like to lose. That was just the Glen Hills way, like the culture, like whatever we stepped foot in the gym, like we just felt like we could not lose.
Glen Hills way.
The Glen Hills way.
I like that.
Spartan way.
Chill, man. Come on. I like that. Speaking of Glen Hills, like, let me ask you. So, you got your team, and that was 2014. Y'all went in the region. So you got the 2014 team. You got your freshman team, which is 2010, which I was pretty good then too as well. You got the 08 Glen Hills team, which they won state. That's probably one of the better teams.
Yeah.
You think your team would have beat the 08 team?
Our team beat the 08 team?
You know Gerald gonna watch this. Just FYI. Just let you know.
Hey, man.
He might shoot you a text. You said the wrong answer.
They're my big bros, man. Hey, look, I look up to them guys, so I'm going to be completely biased. I don't think we'll win.
Okay, I like that.
I definitely felt like we'll give them a run for their money. Like, I would say, like, we'll probably start first half out strong, then y'all pull away just like, y'all just, I don't know, y'all just had everything.
What about the 08 team?
The 08 team, they had everything, man.
The 08 Glen Hills team versus the Raw Hall Senior Laney team. Who you taking?
Man, I'm still going with Glen Hills, man.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
I'm going with
I like it. Man. I'm gonna clap for you.
Yeah, I'm going with Glen Hills, man. I literally almost watched every game of that season. I was a young boy getting picked up from Langford going to their games. I was like, I gotta go see them play. That's what was going.
So I'm now get back to the question. So all right, so you win your region. High school, y'all don't win the state, but y'all make y'all run. Season over with now. Now it's time to lock in. You picking Georgia Southern. What went into you saying I'm gonna go here?
All right, so in the middle of the season, I had a visit to Georgia Southern, and the Georgia Southern played. They played Furman at Georgia Southern. It was a good experience. I like what I saw, and then ultimately, like at the time, my brother Kyle Doyle, he was there at the time. Cause he committed to Georgia Southern the year before, and he had a great season. He had a great season there, and it just made me want to go play with him and go play with Georgia Southern. And then it just made sense. Like, it's an hour away from Augusta. Everybody can get to me. Like I still be around, like I still be close to a little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
Like the scenario just made perfect sense. So it was a no-brainer for me.
Well, talk about it. Like, what was that? What was that experience like being there? I know you ended up transferring, but what was that experience like being there before you transfer?
I mean, just the experience, like just the shit, like the grind, like how hard you had to grind to get the way you want to be is just it's undeniable because once you sign that letter of intent, like you going out to school like no later than a month and a half, like you gone, like, and it's right work, like 5 a.m. workouts, 2 days, and you still trying to be in school, like be a college student and balance it out. It was just an experience, man. So I would just tell like future athletes to that pursue to go to college and play basketball, just to take the grade serious and put the work in and like put extra work in because just think about it, like when you on a gun you taking 1,000 shots and you looking at your percentages, like you taking 1,000 shots a day on a gun working out, you get in the game, you put in 1,000 shots just to put up maybe 10 to 12 shots a game. So that means you got to make your shots count. So that means like your craft, the things that like that's like you got to take serious. You got to master it. Whatever you good at, you got to be great at it. And it doesn't come from like just sitting there and just letting the game come to you. You got to like you really got to like put the work in, like literally just to get just to get to the bare minimum level. So you got to go higher than that.
But first of all, clap it up for you for that. Was an amazing answer, by the way. And I agree with everything you said too, especially on that level, because on that level, people it's big money involved. Like these coaches getting paid good money, people getting free schooling. So it's a business as well. So you got to make sure you approach that business in the business way. So yeah, if you know you got games, you got to practice for them games outside of what you got to do with the team. You know, you got to do your own individual stuff, and then take a great deal of discipline. But Georgia Southern is kind of known as a party school too. So was that hard for you? Like, you know, because you're off. This is most kids' first time, like kind of on a grown sense, where like you just by yourself, making your own decisions now, your own curfew for the most part. But then you got this school where like, and it's close to home, so everybody coming there, they're out away.
Yeah, I definitely say like that first semester, it's a culture shock, cause like it's Georgia Southern, like you said, it's the party school. Like some of the stuff that you might experience is something like you might see from a Netflix movie, like like for real. But once you get that little semester off, sometimes it may take less than that. Like you get accustomed to it and see how it really going. Like you'll figure out like what you really in school for, because a lot of people tend to get lost on like why they even go to college. Like you get there, you party and all this stuff, and then you figure and you just think that's all you do. But when you an athlete, and then when you gotta wake up early, it's easy to make those decisions and be like, all right, I ain't partying because I gotta wake up early. So like my judgments and inhibitions really wasn't like everything was good as far as that part, because I like to sleep, I like to rest a little bit. So I ain't missing no workout. So because it's not you running, so I took those things serious. But it definitely takes some time to get accustomed to, because everybody ain't meant to go to a party school.
Yeah.
Not even like it's not for the weak.
What ultimately went into the decision to transfer and transfer schools? Cause you stayed there for 1 year, right? Or 2?
I stayed there for 3 years.
3 years.
I redshirted the first year and suited up for 2 years. I mean, sometimes like good things gotta come to an end, man. Like once you get that pat on your shoulder and be like, the time is up, like the time is up. And at the time, Coach Link, big shout out to Coach Link. When I was at high school, in 2014, he was actually recruiting me then. He wanted me to go to Payne, but I wasn't interested. But he was at Clayton State at the time, so I had reached out to him, and I told him my situation, and he just took a chance on me. He was like, "Yeah, you gonna play for me and we'll love to have you. Just come ready to work. And he just made me feel welcome. It's in Clayton County, so like it just made my process easy.
So you played how many years at Clayton County?
I was at Clayton State for 2 years.
Okay.
We end up winning the region championship, not
Tournament.
the regular season championship, and then after I played them 2 years, I became a grad assistant. I was like a coach,
Gotcha.
like that.
But them 2 years you played, you was killing. Like I remember seeing, like all I was seeing was you. Like you was super efficient. You was scoring. It was almost like kind of like your last 2 years at Glen Hills.
Yeah, I was just super hungry. Cause I just had something to prove, man. Because like it's a difference when it's different when you hear people talking about you and you know who you are as a person, like who you is as a basketball player. Because I ain't gonna lie, I kind of lost myself when I was kind of playing at Georgia Southern. I lost my confidence, and I let certain things derail my mindset. So when I decided to transfer, I just took it extra serious. Like if I'm gonna transfer, I gotta just give everything I got. So I was in the gym nonstop. Like I was just super hungry. Like I was just hungry.
Well, I have to ask, just me, like what was it about being there that you feel like kind of played a part in you losing your confidence? Was it like lack of playing time, or was it the fact that you feel like you should be playing? Was it the fact that you known to be a certain echelon of player, and then people feel like you're not living up to that, so you feel like your legacy is being
like
played with?
You just know like when you just know when you can play, man. Like I know who I am. Like I know I can play this. I know I can play at this level. So like when you got people coming to your games and they just ask you a million questions on why you're not playing, like it kind of does something to you.
And that was new for you because you never had that.
Yeah,
none of your career.
Yeah, fact. So like I just had to get up out that dark cloud, man. Like, cause I know I definitely was more deserving, but that's why you go for a better situation, man. Like, and don't wait till it's too late. Cause a lot of people wait till it's too late, then they just out with their hands out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what kind of talks was you having with your dad around this time, or what kind of help was he at this time? Like when you going through what you going through at school?
Man, it was just very tough. Like sometimes I would just be like, "Why me? Why me?" Like what's going on? But he would just always tell me like to keep my head up and just continue to work hard and good things gonna come. And my mom would tell me like just remain humble. Like don't let them people just get you outside your character. Just wait till like the season over with to really show like what you got going on. So
was it hard? Is it hard, or was it hard to like be a good teammate during this time?
Nah, no, a little bit. I ain't gonna say hard to be a good teammate because at the end of the day, like them guys that I was playing with, they was like that was family to me. So
yeah,
if they win, I win. So I really ain't think about it that much. Like so, but it did kind of like ruffle my feathers a little bit. Like sometimes, like if we was blowing the team out by 30, and I only probably play like 5 minutes or something like that. Like that just little things like that. I just knew my value. That's all.
Yeah.
I just knew my value.
And so at Clayton State though, like you went there and you kind of started impacting as soon as you got there.
For one, I just knew what to expect coming in, like, and being a transfer, I just ain't want to be a person that was like messing everything up. So I just wanted to make sure everything I was doing was just tight. And then the stuff that I learned at Division I, like as far as like the accountability part, just taking your craft serious. Like I just took that with me. Like as far like academics wise and sports wise. So that transition to Division II wasn't tough at all. Because that's half of the battle. Just like the preparation and just making sure your mental straight.
Talk about that real quick, like Division I versus Division II. Like what if at all difference did you even see? And I asked you that question because you got some kids who like they won't even listen to Division II offers if they feel like they're a D1 player, because whatever reasons. But as someone who played both, did you see a big difference in your preparation and the work you got to put in to even play on those teams?
I would say like talent wise, it's right there because it just all depend on like time, place, situation, like the right person to take a chance on you. So I would say like the big gap is just like it's God given ability.
Yeah.
Like you can't you like the amount of work you could put in can't stop you from being 6'11" or stuff like that. Like so that's the only difference. But as far as like having like a head coach like push you or having an assistant coach push you even harder and strength and conditioning coaches, I feel like all that stuff is kind of like the same. Like so budget wise, like you know what I'm saying, like budget wise, that's just the difference. Like the things you are accessible to.
I want to ask, what in all, I asked you about middle school. Let me go back to high school for a second. I'm gonna ask you about college too. High school, what would you say your best game was in high school?
My best game?
Just for you, not like a Glen Hills thing, like Aubrey, my best game. Like if it's a game you remember the most, and this was my best game right here.
I'll say one of my best games would be when we played the Christmas tournament. It was the Chick-fil-A Classic at Tucker High School.
I remember that. Yeah.
So we ended up losing a close game to Green Forest, and then like we ended up losing by 3. I just remember it like it was yesterday. Like I tried to dunk, I missed. Betty, I got hung. Like Mcrae at the game, my dad, like like I could have easily laid the ball up, but I was like, I'm about to go try to dunk, like dead legs, like it's like leading the full court. I try to punch it, got hung. Game ended, we ended up losing. I got cussed out so bad.
By who though?
My dad and Mcrae. My dad and Mcrae. They were like, we lost the game because you want to effing dunk all this. I'm like, oh, Lord. I'm like, all right, okay. So the next game, we played Chris County. I was like, I'm about to just kill everybody. Like, so they won't have nothing else to say to me. I ended up going for like 32 points, something like that. And it was like, we ended up winning by like 20. But it was just like one of those games, like, I was like, nah, I ain't going for that. Like, I just got cussed out yesterday. Like, I'm just not, no, we ain't doing this. Like, I ain't finna get cussed out 2 games in a row.
What about in college? What was your best game? And I asked that, it's hard to tell because like I remember Chad covering you a lot.
Okay.
And I feel like every game was good. Like you was super efficient.
Yeah, so I would say my favorite game, I'm gonna say one of my favorite games was when we played Augusta State University.
I knew it.
Yeah, when we played Augusta State University, my junior year in college, not the senior, the junior year. Cause like you said, like I was just super efficient, and I just took that game personally because you had TC and you had KD like on the other side, and Coach Dill, I've been knowing him since I was little. I remember I was little going to his basketball camps. Me being a kid from Augusta, I just took pride in just playing against him. I had a good game. I think I had like 23 points.
Y'all won?
But yeah, we won. But it was like I shot like 48% from the 3. Like it was crazy. And long live Tavez too, man. Like, yeah, shout out that boy.
Yeah, I shout out to him, but I remember just watching a lot of the clips, and then but one of the things I remember Chad used to report was your field goal percentage.
Yeah,
because that was like I guess not that you ever not been efficient, but in college, it's not about like whether you can score 30 or not, but it's like how you score 30.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the differences between high school and college too. Like in high school, you could score and that's fine. If you can score 30, that's fine. Now how can we get you to score an efficient 30?
So that summer in between Georgia Southern and Clayton State, my assistant coach at Georgia Southern at the time, Andrew Wilson, he was like my shooting coach. Like he just taught me like certain things to do, like how to get your shot off, like the angle to turn your foot in, how you step into it, like the follow through. Like I literally took all that stuff and then just applied it to my game going into Clay State because I just knew like they wasn't thinking the way I was thinking, like how to approach a jump shot when when you get in the ball, like how you curl your inside feet, elbow tuck, how your middle finger supposed to cover over the rim, just little things like that. Like, and then at that time I just felt like I really couldn't miss. Like that was like the year I felt like I couldn't miss. Cause I put in so much work. So
I want to talk a little bit about the clash too. Like, cause you somebody that when we think about Glenn Hills playing, and even though you played a while ago, like you still very active, very much active, and you still play a lot and can play at a high level. Going into it, what's your thoughts? I don't know if you know all the teams or not that's playing in there or not though.
it's probably the same teams, probably just adding one and switch one, but like I'm just here to have fun. Like even though it's competitive, like as far as like for brag rights in the city, like at the end of the day, it's just always good to have the city come together for something positive and shot the day before like putting this together. Cause 5 years ago, you wouldn't have never thought like this would become bigger.
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful to even be a part of it.
So I know you say you just had to have fun. Like, would you have any expectations? Like,
Is
are you
it?
expecting?
It's championship or nothing. Like championship or nothing. Man. Like that's the goal. Like do it well, not at all, man.
Because they got some heavy some team. You got a team in there that won 2 years in a row.
Richmond.
And they said they're going for 3.
I mean, respectable in their own right. I think they should go for 3.
They said anybody in their way.
Anybody in their way?
Nah, they said anybody in their way.
Hey man, let them boys have it, man. That's how they feel. But hey, just know though, they got 2. Glen Hills got 2. So it's not like nobody got more than the other.
They're saying that theirs is back to back, so theirs is different.
I mean, it can be however they want to take it, but the numbers don't change. It's still 2-2. And then you got Laney 1-1. So
when you think about alumni, like what schools do you think about that have like some of the best alumni? If you had to rank them,
had some of the best alumni.
Because I ain't asked me that question. This is perfect. You the first one to ask. Rank. Go from 5 down, 5 to 1. Who got the best alumni in the city? 5 to 1.
Just in general.
In the city. Just the best alumni.
Like current or just in general. Like, because I can't really speak for nothing I haven't seen.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, so I would say as far as alumni, Laney for sure.
Got the best?
I would say like just the catalog, like you got a lot of guys that went places.
Okay.
Like even from boys and girls, like Laney you got the girls playing overseas, KK and Aaliyah. Then you got all my guys like Zep, Christian, and Jay Sean. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Rod Hall.
So who number 2?
Number 2? I don't know. I ain't trying to ruffle no feathers because like I said, like I don't really know for real. Like I'll say it's tough. It's tough.
So you feel are you feeling
everything? I feel like everything from 2 and down is equal. Like in my opinion, like Glen Hills, Josie, Westside, and Butler. Like, but I know Cross Creek they on the rise for sure because they young hoopers like Kobe Stewart and all them. Y'all did some big things like in the past recent years. So like y'all Cross Creek definitely finna be up the. They upcoming for sure. Like it's already stamped for them moving forward. West Side, them boys just had a 3-peat.
Yeah.
So like, it's pretty tough, man.
When the clash come around, what you looking for? Like I know you not when you playing, but when you watching, what are you looking for? You looking for competitiveness? Or you looking for like just flashes of people old selves? Like because that's the thing too. What you be looking for when you watching the clash?
Like. I would say everything's still the same. Like everybody just have fun. At the end of the day, like we here to be competitive, but don't take things too serious. Like because a lot of people tend to like even though it's a high school alumni class, some people be trying to like take it a little bit too serious. At the end of the day, we all coming together for one common goal is we putting this thing together for the city and everybody just have fun playing basketball.
Yeah.
So
I was talking
I'll say like my first year, it was pretty cool. Like that was my first time like really playing against Raw Hall. And like so just to see like guys that I wish to play with like for like even with Jarrell and Reggie, like I was a little boy, 6th grade watching them win a championship. And then like to go suit up with them and playing something like this, it just that would be more like eye-boggling for me, like eye-opening for me. So
no, that's what I mean. Like it's an experience. Like I think on one end, from a spectator's standpoint, I get to see certain things. I get to see you on the floor with a Reggie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what that look like? Or you on the floor with Jarrell with that high IQ. What that look like?
Yeah.
What kind of plays he gonna set up for Aubrey? Like he gonna know his spot. Or like you said, you get to see you go against a Rod or you go against somebody else that maybe didn't play in high school, whether it's a younger kid, maybe Drez, maybe somebody else.
Yeah.
Like I like to see that, to see like how it could have been. It's just we don't have no clear cut answer because obviously your prime years in high school, like it is what it is. I think that's the best thing about the Clash. I always tell people like it's fun and it's cool and it's bragging rights and y'all all competitive because y'all all legends in y'all own right, But I do think one thing we gotta take from this is like, no matter what happened in Clash, it don't take nothing changes what we happen in high school.
Yeah, facts. That's what I'm saying, man.
You still a region champion from 2014.
Right.
You still with 16-0.
At the end of the day, man.
At all 16 teams you smack, I still smack them. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and it's cool for as we older, and that's cool and it's cute.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, none of this is changing what we did in high school. It's just, now we could blend it together with other classes. So I do like that from that standpoint. But I'm with you on that. I think sometimes people take it a little too. I'm cool with the jokes.
Yeah. But
sometimes people come out here they gonna change their whole high school career. It's not gonna change nothing.
This is not like, don't try to like. Some people it could be their Kodak moment, but like come back to reality a little bit. That's all. Cause like some people just be saying all type of stuff, but not that it bothers me. It's just saying like, just don't like, just have fun, man.
So like I said, I'm looking forward to y'all on Clash. I don't know the rankings. I don't know the schedule yet.
From what I've seen on Facebook, I think Helsper, Josie and
oh, he got it up already?
I know that Josie and Helsper play each other, something like that.
David posted on his page already?
They was promoting that for the longest though. That was like the only matchup I seen.
Yeah, he ain't got nothing yet.
It's gonna be interesting to watch because I feel like because now that some of the younger guys they are graduating and some of them like finna be out of college, so the ones that wanted to play 5 years ago now they're getting their opportunity to play. It's gonna end up getting bigger and bigger, and it's great to see.
Nah, I agree. I definitely agree. Like I said, I try to do this in conjunction with the Clash on purpose. I want you to tell any of the young players like that's watching, whether they went to Glen Hills, whether they from the city, or whatever. Give them just some words of advice as far as like what they should be doing this time of the year, leading into their next season.
I would say this, like, as a young athlete that is trying to make this like their livelihood and make this like part of their life for real, you just got to take things serious and just stay out the social medias, like, because as of right now in 2025, that the internet is the biggest drug. Stay out the phones, get in the gym, man. Like, you're going to get better doing that instead of just scrolling on your phone worrying about the wrong thing, because I feel like our generation's just so brainwashed and don't understand, like, what it really takes to get somewhere. Like, you can work so hard just to get here. So you got to do the extra amount to get here.
I think what you're saying is amazing. I know you said it a couple times. I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like I look at players like you, Don, Kyle Doyle, Darius, Jay Sean, Zep, Christian, Frank Booker, Raw Hall, like all these Reggie, all these GOATs. And y'all all played extremely hard. Y'all all like left it all on the floor. Y'all all gym rats, practice hard, and I feel like that's a lot, but it's enough to get you to a certain level.
Yeah.
And then you gotta go from there, kind of double that, and that's whatever that look like for some people. For some people, it might be by chance. You got to a good team, cool. So you got a good situation. But if you're just being realistic, a lot of times like you gotta work like 20 times harder after that.
Yeah. And then,
after high school, you ain't make it. Just because you signed in, you ain't make it.
and then most importantly, like you gotta really love it. Like you gotta have a passion for it too. Cause if you sitting here just doing what you're doing for nothing, you don't really like what you're doing, like you just wasting your time. Because cause then you just wait, like it's just gonna your time gonna run out, then you're gonna be ready to do something else, then like it's just too late. Now you just got your hands out. Like, so if you're gonna do something, whether it's be an athlete or be an entrepreneur, like you gotta be 110% investing, you gotta really love it. Like you gotta really have a passion. Like even when I stopped playing basketball overseas, like I had to like find a way to like stay close to the game because like I really love it. Like that's why I got into the coaching tip because like you just never know when it may hang up. So you just gotta find your avenues and like to get to where you want to go. So
now that you are coaching, now you've been coaching for a minute now too. What's some things you feel like yourself as a player you could have worked on? You seen yourself as you being a coach now, and you seeing the players you have, and you working on some of the things they work on. What's some things you feel like you wish you could have did better as a player from your coach's lens?
I would just say just to pay a little bit more attention to the smaller details because like in middle school, like the age gap in talent wise gap though is like is wide.
Yeah.
Because like you said, like I've been doing this for a long time compared to somebody that's like just now starting to play basketball. So it was kind of a little bit more easy to like to slack off a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, cause I know like in middle school, like I'm just flat out better than you. Like ain't nothing you can do. Like your skills probably might catch up when you get to high school, but as of right now, like I know I got it. So I'll just say like to any young athlete, like just remain, like just stay coachable. Like just pay a little bit more attention to detail. Like just be a sponge.
You never had this problem, I don't think, ever that I've seen you play, but like how important is like from a coach's standpoint, of course, is body language.
Body language.
Like where you rank that amongst like, because you got discipline, you got body language, you got talent, but how important is body language to you and what you do as far as coaching?
I mean, it started out when I was young, man. Like when you have like athletes as parents and like they watching your every move, it's kind of hard to like not have body language because like if not, like you finna get cussed out. So like I just tell them like you just never know who watching. You could have went for 30, but you pouting and all this other stuff that can be your ticket out the door. Like all right, we not interested no more. So the small stuff matters, like because they just reflects who you is as a person. My opinion.
Describe, if you can, I only got a few more questions. Describe, if you can, Aubrey the coach, and then how does he differ from Aubrey the player?
I would say like Aubrey the player is very expressive, like do what it takes to win. And then you got Aubrey the coach, more calm, collected, more observant, and then you just gotta make decisions for everybody. Like it's kind of different when you on the court, and then you can kind of rely on your teammates because you out there on the floor. But once you're on that sideline, even though you might have a person that's good, and then you might have somebody that's kind of good, and then it still might be good enough to win a game, but it's just like certain things you just like, are you really in full? It's almost like playing a video game without the controller. Like you in full control of the game. Like it's kind of weird. I'm still like I'm still manifesting it right now. Like it's still crazy fact I'm coaching.
I asked Donna the same thing. That's all players that I know Don, you, me, I asked him the same thing too. All players that was really good in their era, and then they coaching. I asked him like, do you ever feel like sometimes because of how good of a player you were,
Yeah.
you have like crazy expectations of some of your players? Cause like you know what you would have did, or
Yeah.
like you facing the team, you facing Hornsby, you facing Hornsby. You know, Aubrey in middle school was like, okay, I don't care how good you are, I'm ready to play. But you might seeing your boys like, y'all don't seem too confident. What's going on? Like I get they're undefeated, but like, do you ever feel like the player version of you has a different perception uh, of the game than the coach version of you?
Man, like, it's crazy that you say that because, like, they love to say that, like, people that was, like, really good at basketball tend not to be good coaches. But sometimes you got to, like, really take a step back and just, like, observe everything that's just going around you. And, yeah, you may have these crazy expectations, but you got to think about, like, the times you was playing and then the times that's going on now. Like, some people can't handle that constructive criticism that my pops or Coach Buck Harris, Coach Hunter, and I them used to dish out to the players as far as you can now. So, like, you got to really almost use reverse psychology to the point, like, like you gotta make it make sense. You gotta make it make sense to the players
Yeah,
instead of like making it seem like you cussing them out.
that's
And
funny.
like making it seem like you ain't getting at them a bad way because they'll cry and tell their parents these days. So
And then you got your job.
man, what? So yeah, so you gotta just be smooth and just
From a lot of players though, I do feel like I never feel like a player can't be a good coach. I feel like certain players will be great coaches depending on how you was on the floor.
yeah.
And so like me knowing how you was on the floor, I don't see why you wouldn't be, because you played this in detail. You wasn't selfish. It wasn't just about you. You played team ball. You came from team ball environment. So I feel like you take that and you kind of upgrade it. Hopefully, and you go from there. I do see that you calm and collective on the court and you coaching. So I do like that. But I think you just instill a lot of confidence. Even when I seen you at Spirit Creek, which I really should have won, but you instill a lot of confidence. I want to say this real quick. I don't know if people talk about this guy a lot, but the point guard you had for Spirit Creek,
What's
Cross Creek now.
Yeah, Cross Creek, Jalen Dames.
I don't care what nobody say. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna down and say I don't care. People hate this, but I feel like he could be one of the best guards in the city. His direction, like how he play.
He's just a killer.
It's if he was 5 more inches taller,
Yeah.
I mean,
And then so when I got there, he was already in the 8th grade. But Coach McLean, shout out to Coach McLean too, like real OG. He just
Shout out
came
to
to me.
McLean.
He just kind of chopped up me about him and was just like, he just stayed down. Like since it was in the 6th grade, he waited his time. So it was just a pleasure working with him and just put him in a situation to be successful. Because when I had Lil Jalen and Chase at the 2 guard, it just opened up his game a lot more, like to be more free because they had to worry about a spot up shooter. And like I just had some guys, man. But shout out to Jalen, man.
What did you? This is my last question. What did you learn the most your first year coaching at Cross Creek? I mean, Spirit Creek.
I would say like not to hang your head up high. I mean, not to hang your head down. Like I was just like when we lost that playoff game against Murphy in the playoffs when we was undefeated all season, and then when it seemed like the whole gym was against us, it just I don't know. It just felt like it just motivated me to be the best coach ever.
Yeah,
like all right, I'm gonna just do whatever I can to make sure we get to this position. Or I don't know. It just made me more invested into like coaching for real because of the competitive nature. Like it's an experience that I'm really like enduring right now.
Well, one thing I would say, like, I know you said like they feel like the whole gym against you. It's hard when you got Murphy. Murphy is a Staples kind of school here, and that area they all going out to support them. You was at one of them schools. When you think about Glen Hills or you think about Langford, those are schools that people just root for.
Yeah.
You at a school now where people like really don't kind of root for, so like they always gonna go against you. Like
Facts.
Hefzibah, You hear that name like, oh, nah, I'm going for Aubrey playing against.
It's so crazy, man. Cause like being from here, you just never like really imagine yourself like being in certain situations. Like so, like now that I'm actually working at Hustle, like I can understand why people don't like Hustle. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm enduring like I'm embracing all of it.
Yeah.
I'm a rebel now, so it's pretty. It's really interesting. It's kind of cool though.
Yeah. I like to say, I watched you for a long time. I'm just always super proud of the success you had and everything you've done, from basketball to coaching to just be carrying yourself as a nice young man in life. You know what I'm saying? Never heard nothing bad about you ever. So I definitely appreciate you coming through, stopping, talking with me. Like I said, I root for you all the time. So I think you have a great game on the 5th.
Oh yeah,
great games.
I want to say I'm really trying to figure out who we play first, man. But man, make sure y'all pop out to the class, man. July 5th, July 6th, man. It's gonna be something you will not regret to see. Good vibes, good competitors, good basketball. Inside the main, man, and More Than the Masters podcast.
I appreciate you, bro. Clap it up for Aubrey, you know what I'm saying? More Than the Masters podcast, we out.